Hello, everyone. Welcome. It's Friday. That means Friday Sews. Friday Sews is an opportunity for us to chat. I'll catch you up a little bit of a life update and what I've been working on in regards to sewing. Today is Friday, December 11th, and you may have noticed that I have not been on social media. I haven't been on YouTube. I haven't been on Instagram. I haven't been on my Facebook page. I haven't posted anything on my blog. We did visit Minnesota the second week in November. It was an opportunity to see family. And of course, you saw my fabric haul video. I did make it to SR Harris. Our very last day in Minnesota, we did get exposed to the virus. When we visit family and friends in Minnesota, we do tend to make it a road trip. It's a rather long road trip. Not gonna lie about that. We do that because it's easier once we get there. We don't have to rent a car. We don't have to worry about anyone picking up stuff from the airport, all those little things. So we have a little more freedom that way. We were driving home from our visit and we received a call from someone that we had spent time with the previous day. Apparently this person was not feeling well and the next day, they contacted us to let us know that they had indeed tested positive for the virus. At that point, we knew we'd been exposed, and you pray and you hope that you will not get it, but you also know that the chances are pretty high that you will. Unfortunately, we both did. Now, this is just a quick synopsis of our experience, and I am not downplaying what has happened to anybody else that you may know. We know it's a serious virus. We know people that have passed away from this virus. We know people that have been in the hospital for weeks from this virus. On the other hand, we know people that have had what they thought was a sinus infection, and it was the virus. So it's so random. So this is just what happened to us. We made it home, and within 2 days of receiving the call from that person that tested positive for the virus in Minnesota, my husband got sick. We tucked him into bed, and we're fortunate that we have a house that is separate, where I could put him in the main bedroom with the main bathroom. And the other side of the house is where the guest room is. The guest bedroom is, as well as a separate bathroom. So I put him over there. I started living on the other side. I took care of anything he needed in terms of, the Tylenol and water and food and those things. And I was sanitizing like crazy in between, hoping against hope that maybe just one of us would get it. For him, it was about 3 days in bed, and then he started feeling a little bit better. And I was thinking, maybe I'm not going to get it. Or maybe my symptoms are just so mild that I don't even realize I have it. My husband did indeed test, and because he had tested positive, I chose not to test when I did come down with symptoms. Unfortunately, I did get it. I actually got hit harder than he did. A week after he had his first symptom, I had mine, and for me, it was extreme exhaustion. Extreme, I can't even explain it to you. We were watching the news. It's probably about 5 o'clock at night, 5 o'clock in the evening. And I looked at him. I'm like, I think I have to go to bed. I am just so tired. I cannot stay awake. So I went off to bed, and I didn't wake up again until the next morning. It was about 16 hours that I slept. And then it was just this extreme exhaustion. That's the only way I know how to explain it. You sleep for 16 hours and you get up and you feel refreshed, and within an hour, you're ready to go back to sleep again. So, okay, at this point, I'm like, all right, I've got it. Oh, shoot. And then came Thanksgiving, took a turn for the worse. We did not celebrate Thanksgiving this year. My husband wanted to cook a Thanksgiving meal. He said, number one, there's no way I can cook the meal. Number two, if you want to cook it, that's fine, but there's no way I'm eating it. I ended up in bed for 4 days. The headache, for me, it was this intense headache that would not go away. You just want to fall asleep. You just want to fall asleep because it's the only thing that takes away the pain of that headache. Following the headache came the chills and the fever and the body aches. And it just was not a fun experience. I'm so grateful to the Lord that He had my husband come down with it and kept me healthy so I could take care of my husband. And then my husband was well enough when I became ill, he was able to take care of me. It's one of those things that you're laying in bed and your head hurts. And I remember thinking, I'm probably dehydrated. That's partially why I have a headache. I'm dehydrated. I've got to get more fluid in me, but you have no energy. You can't do it. So thankfully, my husband was able to make sure that I was drinking fluids, making sure I was getting tie and all those type of things. We did call a doctor. We were not having issues with respiratory. There really wasn't anything they could do just to monitor it. So it has been more than 2 weeks, and I'm happy to say that I'm here filming a video with you. I probably am not going to be able to do it in one take. I'm still fighting the fatigue. I'm feeling optimistic that the worst is behind us. As I mentioned, I'm not downplaying this virus and how it may have affected someone you know. As I said, I know people that are still in the hospital, that have been in the hospital for going on a month with this. I know people that have passed away from this that shouldn't have. They're healthy. And then I know people that had minimal symptoms. So it's so random. It's what happened to us. Now, the last Friday So's that I put out there, in fact, it was the only one that I've put out there so far, I had mentioned how excited I was that my daughter was coming down to spend that week of Thanksgiving with us. Well, of course, she had to cancel. She had to cancel her trip. I felt terrible about it. Both of us had been looking forward to it for so long, but obviously we were sick, so she couldn't be there. Even if we had not had symptoms, the risk of her coming down, knowing that we had been exposed, I didn't want to do that to her. What would she have done if she would have come down to see us and then ended up sick in quarantine? Fortunately, the airlines is so flexible because of what's happening with the virus. She's able to cancel her ticket. I'm not sure that's the right word. She has up to a year to reuse it. So that's a good thing. Once we know this is behind us, she'll come and see us. So did y'all notice? When I was in Minnesota, I got a haircut. So the person that does my hair is actually my cousin. She's co-owner of a salon. She's done my hair for probably 20 years. And not only do I love her doing my hair, but it's just an opportunity for us to catch up on family stuff. So when we were there, I was having one of those moments where like, oh, I'm tired of my long hair. I'm tired. I can't do anything with it. I also want some highlights. Do something. Ooh. As you can see, like, what is that, 4 inches? She got about 4 inches off the back, off the front, and she put these highlights in for me. So I do like the color. I just like having the fun little color down here. I feel like because it's so sunny here so often, I like the lighter color. I definitely had the haircut regret. I don't know what the right word would be for that. I definitely had that regret where she cut it and I saw that on the ground around me and I'm like, oh, what have I done? I just had her take 4 inches off. It's kind of like back in the early 80s, I had that beautiful, remember when we all had the Farrah Fawcett do, the huge Farrah Fawcett do. And I got it in my head that I wanted one of those Pat Benatar cuts. So I went to my hairdresser on a Saturday. Again, I had this beautiful hair, probably about down to here, the big Farrah Fawcett. Chop, 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 chop. I had one of those little Pat Benatar cuts. Oh, I cried and cried and cried and cried. It looked good, but it was way too much of a change too quickly. And to make matters worse, I showed up to work on Monday and some stupid guy, I don't even remember who he is, but I remember what he said. He looked at me and he said, oh, you looked a lot better with long hair. Huh. Because I wasn't already feeling kind of crappy about the haircut. Thank you very much. That really made my day. Oh, goodness, we need to be careful what comes out of our mouths, right? Anyway, I'm getting used to it. And there's an actual plus to it. When I had my surgery on my spine 18 months ago, they shaved part of the back of my hair. And now it's all the same. And now where they had shaved had grown out to about the length that it is now. So now it's all the same length, so it's a plus. In sewing news, even though I'm not doing much sewing, I got a little bit of sewing news for you. I had completed a survey that came out with a Dritz newsletter, and as one of the first 50 people to complete it, I was sent this mighty steam iron. Looks like just a tiny little portable iron. Obviously, I haven't tried it yet, but I'll give it a try and let you know what you think. I do own the Oliso, the tiny little Oliso iron. I purchased that one. We'll see what the difference is between this. I'm thinking I might like the handle on this one a little bit better. So that was kind of fun. It's always fun to get a free little gift. Now, on a previous Friday Sews video, I had talked about the upcoming Sew Beautiful book. This is by Kenneth Wong with Itch to Stitch. I went ahead and ordered myself a hard copy book. You know, I'll leave that link below if you want to order one for yourself. The link that I am going to leave, it is an affiliate link, which means I get like 50 cents or something if you happen to order one. And you don't have to use my link. It's available on Amazon. And look at, first of all, I love the size of it. And I did have the patterns because I tested for her. So I did have all of the PDF patterns, but honestly, I prefer printed patterns. But I love that it's big. The illustrations are big. The instructions are really nice. Then in the back here, this is where the pattern pieces are. So the pattern pieces are going to be similar to a Berta style magazine, which I know that kind of freaks some of you out. Honestly, once you trace a couple of the Berta style magazine patterns, it becomes easier. I don't mind doing it at all. So this is, let me unfold this. This is for the Castle Point wrap skirt. So do you see you do have to trace. I love that it's different colors. That makes it a lot easier to find your right size. And then you just trace the pattern out to the size that you want and stitch that baby up. I had tested a few of the items from the book, not all of them. I do plan on sewing all of them up and I'll review them for you in future videos. Now, as you can well imagine, I have not felt like sewing at all. That being said, this is a pattern I kept. This is 9173 and it's a very impractical skirt. Do you see that? I have wanted to sew that skirt since that pattern came out and I just never took the time to do so. Well, our church has a women's event every year for Christmas. And if I was going to go to it, that's the skirt I would wear. So I'm going to go ahead and sew it. I'm not going to go. I'm still not at 100% with my health. Number two, they're offering it available online also, so I'm going to watch it online. But this is what I'm going to use. Won't this be a beautiful holiday skirt? It's a brocade from S.R. Harris, and I believe I have enough that I can make that skirt. And I'm hoping to do that this weekend. I'm hoping I have enough energy that I can actually sew it this weekend. I looked through the instructions. They don't look too difficult. Even if I don't have it done in time to wear while I'm watching the event online, I think it would be an adorable skirt to wear for Christmas at home. The last Friday Sews video, a couple of you had asked about this jacket that I have here. This is McCall's 3322. This is a whip work in progress project that I've had cut out and partially sewn, I think, for 3 years. I just need to get the fur collar on here and get it lined, and I'm done with it. Got it on my dress form so that I don't forget about it. I got to be honest with you, we've been having 75-degree days outside, and the thought of a jacket with a fur collar it's really hard to sew something when you know that you probably are not going to be able to wear it. But I do have a goal to get that done yet this year. Hopefully I'll fill up to it and get that done. You know what? If it doesn't get done in 2020, I'll work on it in 2021. It doesn't matter, right? Why put these self-imposed deadlines on myself? The other thing I'm working on in terms of sewing is I have 2 little nieces that love Barbie dolls, and I'd hoped to have all this done and on its way to them for Christmas is a Barbie doll wardrobe. I still remember when I was 4 years old going to my great grandmother's house, and she had an entire wardrobe of Barbie doll clothes laid out on the coffee table and in 4. And she's telling me it's my birthday. And she's telling me, don't look. So of course, little 4-year-olds, you're keeping your head straight ahead, but you're doing one of these, right? Because you're looking. Oh, and I just still remember how excited I was to have those. In my family, I started sewing and selling doll clothes when I was 13 or 14. It was a nice little business for about 15 years. And all of my daughters, I have one. My daughter, my nieces, my sisters, they all got Barbie doll clothes growing up. It was just a tradition in our family, so I'm looking forward to continuing that with the great nieces. Other than that, we are just taking it easy. We're very grateful for all the people that prayed for us while we were sick, and we're very grateful that we're on the mend from the virus. Unfortunately, all of the fabulous little tutorials I had for you for the 12 days of Christmas are not going to happen this year. What are you going to do? Your health is more important. And you know what? I'll just put them out there anyway. I'll put them out there as I finish them. And if you don't sew them for this year, you can get a head start on next year. Until next time, be safe, be healthy, and I hope you have a blessed day. Happy sewing. Tutorials I had for you